Hi, and welcome to the very first video about the Raspberry Pi. I'm going to create a mini hacking computer, everything from the scratch, and I wanna take you through what I did to do it and how I'm going to do it. Now, at the moment, as you can see, I'm actually flashing my USB stick that is connected with the. I'm gonna take it out and show it to you because I'm gonna, interrupt the process. But it's a mini. It's a mini flash card that I'm flashing those small memory cards you use for the cameras. You need one of those in order to connect and give the data to the Raspberry Pi. So I want to show you first of all the Raspberry Pi that I have, one I bought. The one you can see here is the one. It's on a Danish website. I'm sorry for that, but it's as you can see, this is the Raspberry Pi 2. It's called 2B. It got 1 gigabyte of RAM, and it got 4 processors, like quad cores with 900 gigahertz each. That's more than enough for what you probably need for many projects in the cybersecurity area. And you see, it's an ARM Cortex A7 quad core processor. I bought this used already. I have it right here in the in the case, as you can see, and it isn't that interesting to watch. It's just a case. Inside the case, in the bottom here, as you can see, you can insert your mini card, your memory card, which is the way you need to give your Raspberry Pi 2B the appropriate, memory. It's also for the hard disk. Now, one thing you gotta notice about this particular model that I got right here is that it has no Wi-Fi. However, as you can see, it got 4 USB stick ports, and I also have a Ethernet cable connector. So what I did, I went ahead and bought a small Ethernet cable here, as you can see, with 2 connectors. This is a Cat 6.5, 6A, sorry, and it's basically just you take it and you just click it in your Raspberry Pi, and then you're basically connected. So the way I'm gonna get connection to this, and I'm gonna do all this so you can see it. I'm gonna try and record the way I'm gonna do it, but you have your home router at home, where you basically take this cord here, the Ethernet cable, plug into your home router, you plug it into your Raspberry Pi. After you inserted the mini memory stick that I'm flashing at the current moment, as you can see here, the micro SD card, whatever they call it for real, and when that is done, I'm going to put it into a Raspberry Pi in the bottom right here, as you can see. And basically, that's the way all Raspberry Pis are getting the data. If you look at the images here, just to be sure, you can see on the bottom side, you got the mini micro SD card port right there. And that is the one that I'm showing when I do this. And I know it's difficult to see, but I rather want to show you on a more high resolution image compared to just me showing it you on my real Raspberry Pi. Alright, so you can see that I have also some pins on it, and those pins are also visible here on this Raspberry Pi, as you can see, right there. The general idea is that I'm going to put on a battery head. For the time being, I'm gonna just use the normal, power connector with the mini USB, as you can see right there. And the mini USB is then going into the Raspberry Pi, and that's gonna be this right there, as you can see. But that's gonna be on this particular end, as you can see it. It's on the top right here, as my finger I'm tapping. That is exactly the place where you will see. And you also have a HDMI access, and you got different kind of, different kind of, access ports on this. And this is a really good model. The only thing is that it doesn't have any kind of Wi-Fi. So the way you're gonna work around that is, in this particular case, that you're gonna buy the Ethernet cable. I'm gonna say one more time because I spent a lot of time researching all this, and probably you would say, but naturally, how would you have done it? This is the way I do it. I just bought the cable, and when I'm installing it, I'm basically gonna flash the mini micro USB card right now with Linux Kali. And I'm gonna show you exactly where I got this. It's on the kali.org get Kali, and under Kali ARM, because it's an ARM processor. And if you look up the bit version of that kind of processor, the architecture, it's a 32-bit architecture. So that is the one that I actually downloaded. This works for Raspberry Pi 2, 3, 4, and 400. You know, the original Raspberry Pi that I really want is the Raspberry Pi 02W for Wi-Fi. It's a small, very small chip. You can flash on Linux Kali on it, and it's going to run perfectly. No, I think this is going to run perfect on my own. It's going to be my mini hacking computer that I can bring with me with a mini adapter. And basically now it told me that flashing is complete. And really that's it for now. You know, the way this works, I'm going to show you in just a second. You know, I just flashed it, so I basically just didn't want to bother you with boring, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to 100% process bar. That's kind of boring to look at. So it kind of said like you're done with this, and the way it looks when you install it is like that. You know, you start the program. You either pick the file you downloaded. In this particular case, I downloaded the file. As you can see, it's going to be right there, and it's going to be Raspberry Pi, the XZ. It's gonna be in a format called XZ. You don't need to, you know, unzip it or anything. You basically just choose that. Here you say flash from file, and you pick that XZ file right there, Linux Kali, open it, and then you select the drive, and basically you just take the whatever drive you can see. Now they've already selected the drive that I, you know, one of those just flashed. I would have to take it and take it out. Then take flash, and basically that's it. It's gonna make you flash it. It's just gonna be so easy for you. When you've done that process and everything is done, you know, you can disconnect your USB stick and just put in your micro USB, the micro SD card in the Raspberry Pi, and then basically you're good to go. And that is the overall process you're gonna go through, and also install Linux Kali on the micro SD card on the Raspberry Pi. And when that is done, you're gonna take this Ethernet cable, you're gonna plug it into your normal access point, your access point router, you know, the one that's gonna give you Wi-Fi signals that's in your living room, obviously, I guess. And then you're gonna plug into Raspberry Pi. Now, what you're gonna do then is gonna go ahead to your web interface for the what do you call it, the access point. You're gonna log in, and from there you're gonna see what kind of IP address is available, because you don't know the exact IP address. You could do an nmap sweep, you know, if you're gonna be the nerdy way, just sweep your own, you know, range of IP address, you will get it. You can also just try a few, see what is your IP address, but commonly, you know, you will get around the same IP address that you have in the range. I don't have the password right now for my for this. It's on the back of my router. Some crazy password, you know, and but not the back of my router. It's in a document somewhere. I don't know exactly where it is. I remember it. Anyways, this is the way you're gonna log in, and you're gonna observe the actual IP address that is gonna be given to the Raspberry Pi. Now, when that is done, you're gonna go ahead and take your Linux Kali or whatever Windows login. You could use PuTTY, whatever I think you could use. You know, I'm gonna just use SSH, so I'm gonna SSH into Linux Kali. Now, all that is just a different video. You know, this video is just for the actual information of what I'm gonna do and what I'm doing and how we're gonna do it. You know, the program you're going to use for flashing, you know, the micro SD is a Berliner program. You're going to just download it. You know, I'm going to provide all the links and the files. You know, I'm going to use not the actual files, but a link to the files in my video, so you can just go ahead and click and just, you know, click the way going through. Now, the good thing is that it doesn't really matter which kind of Raspberry Pi you have. It's going to be the same process, because the micro USB card is a separate thing you insert into your Raspberry Pi. So let's assume you have 3 different kind of micro SD cards. So one micro SD card could be the Linux K installation, other micro SD card could be another kind of installation, and so on and so on. So you can basically plug and play different kind of operating systems into the Raspberry Pi and just run whatever operating system you would use to do that. Now, obviously, the more power your Raspberry Pi have, the better it's going to run. Now, the thing I'm going to use it for, it's going to be for the ethical hacking microcomputer that I can take with me in this little box. Now, one thing I want to talk about is how would you power your device on a red team exercise, because I think I'm going to cover all the different kind of nitty-gritty questions you guys could ask me, and I'm going to make a real thorough video series about this. So this is just a general overview in this video. I bought something called a battery hat. Now I'm gonna show you the actual website first, and I'm gonna go ahead and type Raspberry Pi battery hat, and the Danish website for it is, I think I can change the language to English, there we go, is that I went ahead and bought this battery hat for Raspberry Pi. Now yeah, it's not in English right now, but it doesn't really matter. You can see it's called a battery hat for Raspberry Pi. I could probably, let me just see if I can translate this to English for you. Translate to not Danish, but to why? Okay, it doesn't really matter. So, anyways, the battery hat here is just a small component you buy, and as you can see, it got this black thing, which is basically going to be connected to the pins on the Raspberry Pi. As you see, I'm tapping with my fingers here at the top. Now, I bought these kind of things already. I have them in a box right here, and you're gonna get them separately. So you're gonna get the battery, looks like that. It's just the battery, and you're gonna put it on the top on the board right here. You're gonna end up with looking like that as a product. And what you're gonna do is, as you can see here, this is the Raspberry Pi. You're gonna basically just, I should probably show this to you. You're gonna, let me just put it out, take it out of the box, or the plastic bag here. Sorry for the noise. So basically, that is the battery hat. You see it right there. So what's going on is basically gonna put the battery hat on the top of your Raspberry Pi. So it's gonna be sitting on the top basically, and that is the connection you're gonna make to get the Raspberry Pi. As you can see, the USB ports and stuff like that, and the battery hat. The battery hat will be exactly what it is, just a battery. The way you're gonna connect the battery is quite simple. You see, it's on the board, and it's gonna be on the side right here where I have the protective foam on the top. So the battery is gonna be lying on the top of this part right here. And on the bottom, as you can see, there's a small white connector just right there. And what that white connector is for, and I want to show you the battery as well, just so that you're 100% clear what we're talking about. Come on. Sorry for the noise. So we're going to take the battery, this is the battery, and this small connector here, the small white one right there, is going to go inside the one here in the bottom. They're connected. When you then put the battery hat on the Raspberry Pi, you can give it power that way. This battery can also be charged in different ways. If you for example connect a mini USB or USB-C, as you can see, it got different kind of connections here. Probably difficult, hard to see, but you're gonna trust my word for it. Then you can charge it. You don't have to take it off. Now the problem with that is that when you put the battery hat on this unit here, I really don't think it's gonna fit on the top. So you have to probably create your own, or you're gonna fixate the top another way, or you're gonna try and 3D print your way out of it in some sneaky way. Not exactly sure how you would do that, but if you have a 3D printer, basically you could go ahead and check out the models and just print your way out of it. Now, luckily, I have a 3D printer, and basically, I really want to show you different ways you can fixate that. So if you're gonna go into a website called Thingiverse, just like that, and you go ahead and type something like Raspberry Pi, you can find different kind of cases you can print, and probably one of those cases will fit yourself a battery, so you can probably Raspberry Pi and then battery, and then you should definitely be able to see if you're gonna find something that will fit your Raspberry Pi and the battery. And I haven't really looked through all of this, but you know, probably is. If not, you know, I'm gonna take an old wooden box, a little small wooden box, you know, and put some, you know, plastic in it or something, and just, you know, fixate it. But this is actually the way. You can go ahead and, you know, create these kind of, you know, very interesting small boxes. As you can see right here, there's a Mojo Raspberry Pi Zero portable music. It's a thing, but not really that. So there's so many different kind of, you know, models here you can find, you can print. And I'm not gonna spend a lot of time looking through all of it right now, but I'm just gonna say this is one way for you to create different kind of, you know, building models for the Raspberry Pi, so you can put it inside some sort of case. Else you can also just create your own. But I also bought this, and it's around I don't know exactly. Isn't there a Raspberry Pi website in English or something that I could show you, just to make sure that there's one that's called .org. No. RaspberryPi.com, that we have it. So we're gonna say hardware. Isn't there some search function somewhere? I got a different kind of Raspberry Pis. It doesn't look like that. Oh yeah, we can scroll down. So let me just see if I find something interesting for you. So we got the original boxes and stuff like that. Kind of like battery. So it shouldn't seem to have any batteries in this website. No. Alright, so not really sure what it will cost, but you're gonna take the price and say it's $199 to USD. So the amount of money I paid for is around 28 to 30 US dollars for the battery hat, with the battery and the hat. So the hat is the component like that you're gonna put on the top of the Raspberry Pi. I'm sorry for the video dimensions, and the battery is a separate thing, but sometimes you can get it as a deal. It's probably cheaper. I just bought it for the Danish vendors because I want to support the Danish vendors for this project, because I think it's worth it. Alright, so what did I miss so far talking about the overview of the project? So now that I've flashed it, I'm going to put it inside my Raspberry Pi, I'm going to connect it to my home router and so on and so on. But that's going to be another video where SSH into it, and the way I'm going to get internet to it, and this is probably something I need to mention right now, and it's stuck in my keys. I already have an Alpha card from Amazon. This is just any Alpha card, and the connector is a really long cord, you know. The connector right there is just standard USB stick, and it's gonna fit inside the Raspberry Pi. That's gonna be my Wi-Fi. You can also get the smaller Wi-Fi dongles. So if you go to Amazon, I'm gonna use the one in. I'm just gonna take one in America.com. I commonly use one in Germany. You can go ahead and type Alpha card. And if you go ahead and type Alpha card, probably also add the word Wi-Fi. You're gonna get different kind of hits, you know. And the one here, the green one with 4 antennas, is probably too much. But you can probably find, you know, different kind of, you know, products. Let me see if I can find the one that I talk about. So many different kind of Alpha cards. Now, the reason for the one that I picked is that it can go into something called monitor mode. And monitor mode is quite important if you're going to do Wi-Fi technique stuff. So you're going to sniff Wi-Fi packets, you're going to use it for ethical hacking and so on. Now, let me just type the actual name of this. So it is called the AWUS 036NH. There we go. Yeah, so the alpha card that I have is currently not exactly sold anymore, but you can use any of these. It shouldn't be any problem. You can just go ahead and pick an alpha card that works for you. But you can also choose another Wi-Fi adapter. Let me just Wi-Fi Panda. The one called, let me see if you can find the exact model. Wi-Fi adapter, Panda Wi-Fi adapter. One of these is also able to go into monitor mode. I think this is the one, but please look it up, because I'm not really thinking too much about this. But you can also get the smaller antennas like that can go into monitor mode, also supporting, it's called promiscuous mode. Not really sure if you can search on this from the side. I think they do actually put it there, but you can go ahead and research this and say like Google and type monitor mode, something like that, and then you find different kind of, yeah. So you also does Panda Wireless support, and then you can go ahead and use the Panda Wireless, and that is also, yeah, this is the one, for example. So many different ways to get that. So you need to plug that into your Raspberry Pi, again, just on a normal USB like that, and it shouldn't have any problem powering it on, even with the battery head. And I think the battery head itself on this particular model, because it's an older Raspberry Pi number 2B, I think it's gonna run around 10 to 16 hours with the battery head. On a newer model of Raspberry Pi 3 or 4, the battery had this kind of voltage, the amount of amps and so on. I think it's gonna run maybe 6 hours, 4 hours, but it's because it's a newer version of Raspberry Pi. So if you're gonna get your hands on Raspberry Pi 4 or 3, you're gonna expect less online time. So really, I think I kind of covered what I'm gonna do right now. That I flashed my USB. I showed you where you can download the program, showed you how to use it, showed you where to find Linux Kali, the version you need, how to download. Just click the arrow. I showed you my Raspberry Pi. I showed you the cable, the power management, the battery head. We talked about how it all's going to work out. So what I'm going to do with this now, in the next video, I'm going to show you how I SSH into the Raspberry Pi. And I'm not sure I'll be able to show you connecting the Ethernet cable to my, connecting the Ethernet cable to my Wi-Fi adapter. I'm not going to show that because just click, kind of boring, waste of time. So, but I'm going to show you how I SSH into it, and it's really easy. I'm going to show you how I find the IP address as well when I find my password somewhere in the world to my Wi-Fi adapter, and then that's going to be the next video. So for now, I really hope you just got the overall idea how to use the Raspberry Pi to create a mini computer. It's really easy. We just got to get it all together, and I really hope that I explained it in the best way, in the best possible way, in layman's terms that I could really find. So really hope you learned something about it, and consider subscribing to my channel. Leave a comment below if you have any questions. I'm going to see you again online on the Raspberry Adventure.